Damar Hamlin's recovery continues to be remarkable. We'll tell you what happened today. And what do we do with the Colts now that their season is over? Do you make changes? What do you think? Welcome inside the comfy confines of the Channel 13 studios. Happy Monday to you both.
Yeah. I'll take that. A hearty happy Monday. And it ended up being pretty warm, so that was good.
Yeah.
I think the sun helped. It wasn't freezing.
You know, this time of year we can get into those the winter doldrums,
right,
where it's just kind of cloudy every day. I mean, we've been, you know, once we got after that real harsh, cold air around Christmas, we've been living easy here.
Yeah, we have.
So maybe we'll pay the piper at some point. But I will tell you, I think as we get into tomorrow, and these are our high temperatures today. Mind you, our average high is 36, so almost 10 above that today.
We'll take that.
Yeah.
Look what's out west. Got near 60 there in KC.
Oh.
I don't think we're going to be that warm tomorrow, but I do believe we will be in the 50s for highs tomorrow and Wednesday. We'll come close to 60 Thursday. And then we do get a little jab of cold air there, but notice it doesn't hang around all that long. So we're going to talk about that tonight at 11. And also we're going to be talking about this atmospheric river.
Oh.
So that's basically a big moisture connection in the atmosphere that's running the length of the Pacific Ocean.
Wow.
Now we know, as we've been, we've been telling stories about the drought in California and the West for years now. Great that they're getting rain. Unfortunately, it's too much.
Yeah.
They're paying a very steep price, but the Sierra Nevada is 200% above average snowfall for this time of year already.
Wow.
But unfortunately, again, flooding rain. I show you that because one of those systems will actually make it across the Rockies, and that will be our next weather player here. So we'll be addressing that.
All right.
Now, when it comes across the Rockies, what form will it be in?
So, you know, it won't be as strong. It won't be as strong. It does look like it's going to be more of a rainmaker for us with some snow showers on the backside of it. So, but it will bring us the warmth. But we do get, you know, when you go from near 60 to a wind chill in the teens over the matter of a few hours, that's a little, jolts you a little bit.
That'll get your attention, won't it, Felicia?
It does. One more question, because Sean is our resident snowman here.
Yeah, he sure is.
He loves the snow and loves the cold, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
Is this good for you? Like the last week, has been very gray outside, but we've had temperatures above freezing, yet still cold.
I think so. We're in a La Nina winter, and those typically have big temperature swings. They have storm systems like this.
Right.
You know, sometimes we're on the rain side, sometimes we're on the colder side.
But was this enough for you?
No.
It's never enough.
Gosh.
No.
He wants snow.
We're just getting going in winter.
Snowmageddon
the one we had around
2023.
Christmas really only brought us inch and spots
Yeah.
here. So that was more cold and wind. You know, I wouldn't mind a nice storm before we get to spring.
Yeah.
The only thing I'm worried about in this particular pattern is that the cold may be backloaded. And so
we
March,
don't like that. That doesn't sound good.
Maybe March and April.
Because we want this kind of finishing up around March, right?
Yes, I can give you one more, and that's it. I have no more left.
All right, well, we got a ways to go.
All right. Well, we want to thank all of the football fans that have turned away from the national championship game, which
beat down.
Yeah, Georgia is sort of running away with things, aren't they?
Last time I checked, it was 45-7.
Yeah,
so
all right.
That's bad.
So we probably have some football fans joining us, and if you are a football fan, you're in luck because we're going to be talking about Damar Hamlin. Huge news today for this football player with the Bills. The big story today in his remarkable recovery, 1 week after the cardiac arrest, he's released from the Cincinnati hospital, flown to Buffalo. Now he's in a Buffalo hospital because he's doing so well. So he's just making remarkable progress, and his doctor talked about all that he's been able to do so far.
He has been up with physical therapy and occupational therapy, walking the unit, tolerating a regular diet, meeting with his family and many members of the care team that wanted to see how he was doing, all to get him to this point that he could be safely returned to Buffalo. And so at this point,
So there are the doctors updating us on his condition. A couple of reporters asked questions today asking, hey, is it possible that he could return to the NFL? Doctors said, look, it's way too premature. One of the reporters asked, is it possible that he could attend a Bills postseason game in person? They're going to leave that up to the Buffalo hospital medical staff taking care of him. But the fact that he's able to get on a plane 1 week after going into cardiac arrest with his heart stopping, and now he's back in Buffalo, just more great progress. And what was interesting, they said that he was watching the game on Sunday, and you know, when Naheem Hines, former Colt, runs the opening kickoff back for a touchdown for Buffalo, apparently he like jumped out of his chair and set off all the alarms in the ICU.
Yeah.
So he was that excited. So that gives you an idea about how much excitement he had, Felicia, watching that game and his teammates. You know?
I cannot wait because it's going to happen at some point. Let's just claim it. He's going to walk into a stadium and the crowd will go wild.
Oh, they're going to go
it
crazy.
It will be the American win, the American journey that we all need. And I don't know if, you know, he'll be hitting the field that day or not, but the moment that he walks into that a stadium, he will return to a stadium. How? We'll see.
Yeah, I can't
But
wait to
it's
see
gonna
that
be
happen
amazing.
for sure.
I mean, it really is remarkable.
Yeah.
You know, you just can't say enough about that medical staff
Right.
that were so key
Right.
in all of this. So, yeah, good stuff.
So anyway, Damar Hamlin, we're happy for him, how he's doing. I think a lot of football fans, a lot of Colts fans probably cheering for the Bills, given what Damar Hamlin has been through. All right, let's talk about the Colts. Colts season ends yesterday. Look, it was a bad season by any measure. They end up with a record of 4-12-1. They'll get the 4th overall draft pick coming up in the draft. And our sports director, Dave Calabro, was at a Colts camp today.
Hi, everybody. The Colts journey that started with so much promise back in July comes to a screeching halt here today as the players reflect on a tough season. It's a process the players dread. The season ended too soon, and now it's time to pack up. The conversations turn to next year, and that looming question, who's going to coach this team? Jeff Saturday wants the job.
Listen, I have a very clear vision of how I can turn this football team around. And I have a plan of attack that I understand this is what I believe has to happen for us to turn a corner. And so I'm not one that wavers. I'm not one that gets disjointed, you know, very, very quickly. I'm pretty steadfast.
And he has the support of the locker room. All the players I talked to today want him back.
I would give everything I got for Coach Saturday. It's a guy that loves competing, loves the passion for the game. He's a very intentional guy, if you guys don't know that yet. I think this organization would love, this community would love a guy like Jeff Saturday to Coach Saturday to have as a head coach.
And who's going to be the quarterback? The Colts have a top 5 pick. Matt Ryan's still under contract and says he still has that desire.
I still love playing, you know, and I think, you know, obviously not committed to anything, you know, here, wherever. I got to see how, you know, it shakes out. But I still love playing and still feel like, honestly, I still feel like there's a lot of good football, you know, in my body. So we'll see what happens.
A season to forget is finally over, and now a very important offseason is underway. At the complex, Dave Calabro, 13 News.
So many questions to ask you. We want your feedback on it. Give it in your comment section. What do you think the Colts should do? Do they get rid of Jeff Saturday or keep him? Do they get rid of Chris Ballard as the general manager or keep him? What do you do with Matt Ryan? What do you do with that 4th draft pick? What do you do with all this? Because 4-12-1, that's a horrible season, right?
Unfortunately, it's double digits in the middle.
That's right.
That was not the season that we were hoping for by any means, especially on the heels of a new quarterback.
Yeah.
One that played pretty good from his previous team.
Right. Yeah. I mean, look, he's a Hall of Famer by probably a lot of folks. But look, seeing how he played and how the offensive line did not protect him and all the interceptions and all the sacks, I can't see them bringing him back.
Well, even if they bring him back, I would suspect, I mean, you had a top 5 pick. You're probably going to go quarterback.
You would hope.
You know? Now, does that mean they want to make a trade with the Bears? You know,
Right.
Get the number one. Some names that are out. When you look at some of the mock draft boards,
Right.
Bryce Young, Will Levis, and C.J. Stroud. Those
Right.
are three of the top. So you would think one of those three may end up here.
Yeah. Well,
And then do you keep Ryan? Or do you want to throw a rookie quarterback out into the mix, or do you keep Ryan for
Right.
one, a year to kind of
Usher in and make a
So,
transition. It's a tough one because right now I feel like Matt Ryan is just a wild card. You're not sure what you're really going to get. I mean, are you going to get a seasoned veteran?
I think we got to
protect him. You got to protect him.
And that's what I'm saying. We don't know because he didn't get. I mean, look at what he kind of inherited. We didn't get a chance to fully see his potential because of the situations he was in.
Daniel Moore saying, I've got a great idea. Just rebuild the Colts from scratch. Fire all the players, fire all the coaching staff.
Everyone.
Look, I mean, there's a lot of frustration here, and Daniel probably echoes that. Glenn Wright says, keep Jeff Saturday as the head coach. So we'll see what ends up happening. So tomorrow,
we like Jeff Saturday, okay?
Look, I love Jeff Saturday
Cool
as a
person.
person and as a player. As a head coach, he was awful. He was 1-7. He won his first game and then lost 7. Now, a lot of that you could probably lay on Frank Reich's doorstep and Chris Ballard's doorstep and certainly Jim Irsay, but 1-7.
This is going to be one of the more fascinating off seasons.
Yeah.
That's a good word.
In the Colts, because the other dynamic in play here is that you've got Jacksonville. And then when you look at the AFC,
the
you've
division,
got,
right.
I mean, the Chiefs, Bengals,
Right.
and the Bills. I mean, those are
Right.
three of the best teams, not only in the AFC, but arguably in the NFL.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
But I just made this argument for Matt Ryan. Look at what he inherited. It would be unfair to not give that same grace to Jeff Saturday.
I think there are a lot of people
Look
that
at
feel
what
just
he
that way,
inherited.
Felicia. That's
but
right.
Jeff Saturday just said that he was going to do something different. He's going to do things differently if he gets the coaching job. Still going out for it. I don't know. What different are you going to, what does that mean? You just had 7 games to show us that. 8 games, 8 games. So what does that mean specifically that we haven't already seen?
We'll see.
I'll throw a name out there, Reggie Wayne.
Well, Reggie's first year as a wide receiver coach, it was kind of an interesting one. I don't know
He's
if Reggie would be
familiar.
interested in
I
this.
think you'll probably make it rather quickly.
Yeah.
Because you want to start working on what are we doing here?
Right.
So.
And the Rooney Rule is something I think Jim Irsay has to pay attention to. And he was the first owner to hire a black head coach who won a Super Bowl, Tony Dungy. And so, but he's going to have to interview some minority candidates.
Yeah.
He's already said Jeff Saturday is going to be a viable candidate. I think by every measure, he likes Jeff Saturday. Wouldn't be surprised if he brings him back.
What do you think?
I don't think they should bring him back. I think they should maybe give him a front office job.
Yeah.
I think we're done with Chris Ballard. I think he's had 7 or 8 years, and we haven't won a division.
Well, and also,
I agree.
So,
how much does Mr. Irsay want to, have in player decisions, like draft picks?
Yeah.
So that's going to be another
Right.
interesting equation too.
tomorrow we'll probably get some answers. I mean, look, Jim Irsay has been on the record. He loves Chris Ballard. He's coming back as the GM. He loves Jeff Saturday. Plans on having at least him as part of the interview process. Tomorrow, Chris Ballard has a 10:30 news conference in the morning. We'll be monitoring that, and I think we'll learn a lot more about what Chris Ballard's plans are, perhaps how he feels about Jeff Saturday. We'll see. But the Colts have a lot of things they need to figure out, because 4-12-1 is not going to fly in Indianapolis.
You can't screw up this draft pick.
No, you got to hit it right. So, all right. So, folks that missed the forecast,
So tomorrow we're going to have a slight chance of sprinkles in the morning. I think sunshine in the afternoon. If you can squeeze a few hours off early, go ahead and do it. We'll be in the 50s. And warming up mid part of the week, we got a rainmaker on the way that will bring us some cold as well. So we got a little bit to discuss here at 11 o'clock.
Okay, thanks to Brian, Anastasia, Glenn, Teresa, Kelly, Daniel, Brian, Sherry joining us tonight, Ralph, Stan, Terry. So thank you so much for joining us. And we'll see you over on Channel 13, 11 o'clock. See you then.